Cheers.
Our next guest today has been a pop heartthrob since he was a tween, and Jesse McCartney is back with new music, proving things only get better with age. Let's take a look at Jesse's latest video, Better With You.
For every laugh there is a silent cry. For every day there is a darker night. Sometimes this life doesn't treat us right, and I don't know what to do, but I know it's better with you. I was a wreck when you came along, when there was nothing left. You showed me the best. I'm still a mess, but you hold on. Don't know just why you do, but I know I'm better with you.
I remember my first apartment looking something like that. Like that.
Yep.
Jesse is in the building. That video is so good. Welcome
Thanks,
back.
guys.
Your
How are
first music video in like 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. First music in like 4 years.
Right.
In general.
What you were infatuated with the quarter world.
Well, there's a quarter roll in the video that literally goes on perfectly for like 20 feet. And I've tried to do that. It's not easy.
It's not easy. We actually built a contraption. It was like 2 pieces of glass, sort of like hot glued together,
And then you rolled
like
it
cut.
down.
So like so it's like a slide basically for the quarter, and we had to like angle it. But try doing it at like 120 frames per second, like in slow
gosh.
motion, and it's just like it's really hard. The quarter like fast, trying to slow it down, but we got the shot. We got
It was
the video
great.
done. Thanks.
What inspired this new music, this new moment in your career for you?
I think for me, like as you know, as we said earlier, like I took a lot of time off. I was traveling a lot. I was doing some writing of my own. I was just kind of exploring other artistic avenues, doing a bit of acting. So I took about 4 years off, and something happened. I went to Nashville in Tennessee, and there was this songwriting camp that was basically country songwriters and pop songwriters from around the world jumping in the studio and just writing for other country artists. And it was my first time writing any kind of country music. And I went in there after not being in the studio for quite some time, and out came these really great songs, none of which have been recorded yet, by the way. But, but it was kind of like a breakthrough for me as a writer, and immediately I got the bug again, and I decided when I got back to LA I was going to get back in and start my own project. And one of the first songs we wrote was Better With You.
I'm just curious, were there any country artists that we might know of that benefited from this program that was getting music and songs written for them?
You know, it's funny. We recorded. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I know that there was a lot of people that had some of the songs on hold. It's very rare in this industry. A lot of people think that you just write a song and then like immediately gets recorded. For every like 100 songs that I write, maybe 1 or 2 of them get put on hold, maybe 1 of them gets recorded, and then maybe 1 in like 1,000 becomes like a charting record, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's really, the odds are like stacked against you. But Reba McEntire like walked into the studio and she like came in, she's like, "What y'all working on?" And I was like, is this really Reba? And like, meanwhile, I'm like sitting there and like now I have to play her the song, and this is like the 3rd country song I had ever written. And she's sitting there like listening to the song. She's like, "Wow, that's really good.
Oh.
That's really good." And so anyway, it was like a fun little anecdotal moment from my country experience. But
Good for you, though.
That's really cool.
What a cool person to listen
That
to your
is
3rd country
really
song ever,
awesome,
and
yeah.
intimidating.
Nice.
And you have another song that just dropped, Wasted.
Yeah.
We're going to let some people hear that in a little bit, but first, we want to go ahead and throw it back. You got your start as a singer in the boy band Dream Street from 1999.
There go the pictures.
You were 12 years old, right?
that's it.
What was that time like for you? Because that is not a common thing people get to experience.
No, it wasn't. It was wild. I mean, you know, Dream Street was sort of on the heels of the boy band era, specifically the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And, you know, we were like this very short-lived Disney band that made it quite far, considering, you know, we weren't around that long. We sold close to 1 million albums. We went on tour with Britney Spears. We had like a lot of success among like the tween, you know, demographic. And the Disney audience. We did a soundtrack for Pokemon, which was like one of the 90s.
I love Pokemon.
Of course you do. You're born in the 90s.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was just like one of those things that, you know, as a young entertainer growing up in New York, I went in for an audition for like this cattle call boy band,
gosh.
like many other, you know, young kids do when they're trying to audition for a boy band or a girl band. And I got cast in this thing, and all of a sudden I was singing music, and it was just everything I wanted to do. I wanted to sing, I was a ham, I wanted to entertain, and it didn't last long, but what it did do was sort of set me up for kind of what was about to happen and what was to come in my solo career. So it was like a really cool experience and building block for what was to come later on.
Best part about being an act on a Britney Spears show?
We got to meet Justin backstage, actually, and I have a photo somewhere. I should have sent it to you guys ahead of time, but it's like Justin and like he like back with like when he had
Curly hair
Justin, you know, and he like came in, he was giving us the like, hey man, like the you know the big time, like,
Yeah.
I'm a
Gave you
boy
the big
bander,
brother
like,
talk?
yeah, like I'm a boy bander. Let me tell you guys how this is done. We were all just like, you know, like, couldn't
He's
believe it was
God.
him. Just in awe, and you know everything is so much bigger when you're 12 years old too. I mean, it was big, but I mean everything is just to the max when you're that age, and looking back on it, it was kind of remarkable that we got that far that young, and you know it was cool just being on stage, you know, in front of Britney Spears, who was at like, you know, the height
Right.
of her career.
Gosh.
What an insane
wild.
show to
Imagine.
I have to know, and it's not the question that I'm supposed to ask, but what do you remember the advice that Justin Timberlake gave you? Do you remember any of it?
I don't remember. You know, it was such a, it happened so quickly. It just was all like a blur. I was just like, I'm meeting like,
Justin
you know, one of the
Timberlake.
coolest dudes,
Right.
like at the time, and still to this day
Yeah.
in music. And you know, I think he was saying like, you know, it's about hard work and, you know, classic work ethic talk from Justin Timberlake. You know.
There you go.
Everyone goes through that. After that, though, you broke out on your own and you started achieving, I mean, immense pop star status around 2004, and everyone was listening to Beautiful Soul on repeat. Can you tell us what that was like to kind of now just be on your own doing the same thing?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, it was my debut song, my debut album. I was, 15 or 16 when I recorded it. I remember the first time I heard the song on the radio, I was coming out of high school. I had just taken my SAT exam.
Oh my
16
gosh.
years old. And like not feeling great about it. I was just like, ooh, I don't know. I feel like I may have bombed the math.
This music thing better
And
work out.
I was like, man, this music thing better work out. And I remember turning on Z100 in New York.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
one of my favorite stations still to this day, and it was on the radio. I remember hearing Elvis Duran and the Z Morning Zoo like playing the song, and I just remember thinking like, man, I'm not gonna be an engineer. Forget about the SATs. I don't need this math. And then all of a sudden, like it was like from there, like junior year of high school, moving to LA, and it kind of took off and to this whole other thing. And it was a whirlwind. I mean, being 16 and growing up in a small town, and you know, being worried about what my next move was gonna be, where I was gonna go to college, and then touring and you know on every continent in front of people who don't even speak English.
So cool.
Singing your songs, it's I can't even put it into words what that feels like.
Have you gone and interviewed with Elvis Duran since then? Does
I
it
just
feel
met-
kind of
I just
feel
met with
weird?
Elvis, yeah, I just met with Elvis like 4 or 5 months ago when Better With You came out. I came back in and sat in. It was like old times talking with him, and I've done his show over the years like a bunch of times, and he and I go way back. I love him. I love that whole Z100 crew. They've always been really good to me.
So fun. It's so funny to see radio personalities that you grew up with
Yep.
still be on it. Like, I remember when I was trying to call into the radio. You're still here.
Yep.
Okay, anyway. You were also really close with a lot of Disney megastars back in the day. Shows like Sweet Life and Hannah Montana. What was that world like behind the scenes? And, of course, how was Miley?
Miley was great. Miley's still great. You know, it was like, you know, I was signed to a record company who was owned by Disney. So, you know, and at the time, my fan base was primarily
Disney.
tween Disney, you know, viewers. So, yeah, I mean, they had me on, and I started as a theater guy and as an actor, so I was very comfortable behind the camera. And so they put me on all the Disney shows, you know, it was just kind of one of those things. I was like, yeah, happy to be here. And it was great. You know, the Cole and Dylan were super nice guys.
Hillary Duff.
Hillary, still, you know, a sweetheart. They were all super pro, and Miley too. I mean, I just remember, you know, looking back at that time, it's still kind of like a whirlwind, but it was great. I mean, I had nothing to, you know, no complaints.
Do you guys still have like a tween heartthrob chat message group that you guys only you guys are allowed in?
No, that would be ridiculous. But no, like it's funny. Like I'll run into Hillary like once like every year or so, like just on the street, like
Yeah.
shop at the same places and stuff. And or you know, or Miley. Actually, Miley and I have the same guitar player. So you know, we see each other at events
Okay.
or you know, music shows or whatever.
Every year at his birthday party.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I want to ask. I had this look as well, but you rocked one of the most iconic hairstyles of the millennium.
Yeah, the sweep.
The swoop, the
good
sweep,
old
the
sweep.
swap. Point is, Justin Bieber swapped it from you.
Yeah.
Are you resentful?
I feel like there's only so many ways you can wear your hair when you're that age, right? I mean, like, there's only so many things. Like, now I've just moved it off my forehead, but if I let this go and there was no hairspray, it'd still be a sweep.
It's because we don't really have as much forehead acne anymore.
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
not going through that.
That's
Maybe
what it
Proactive
was.
finally came through. for
Yeah,
everybody.
Proactive came out.
What about Zac Efron? I mean,
Yeah.
he kind of took the swoop from you. As well.
Yeah.
swooped- he
Everyone
swooped
had
front,
a
he
swoop.
swooped back.
Everyone had a swoop at some point. Zach's a great guy. Zach and I worked on Summerland
I was just
together
gonna say
back
you
in-
guys did Summerland together.
Yep, we were on
and
the WB, and still like a really good. I still talk to him from time to time, and he's just one of the greatest guys ever.
you even had a inkling that you're like, this guy's a star. He's gonna blow up the way.
Oh, everyone did. Everyone thought he was a superstar. Even when he was on, you know, even when he was like 12 years old, everyone thought he was, you know, the next big thing.
Wow.
Everyone on that show ended up doing like great things. Ryan
Yeah.
Quanten went on to do, what's it called on HBO?
True Blood.
True Blood. Thank
And then
you.
Laura Lofton also.
Lori Loughlin. I mean, Lori was, you know, speaking of the 90s, right? Full House.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, she's the best. I ran into her at the Super Bowl this past year, actually.
You run into
that's
everyone
cool.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want to trail you for
Whole
a day.
Foods to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, we were there for the Eagles, for the big Eagles win, and we were on we had a ground like suite, and we came out, and I was going to use the bathroom. We were there for a charity, and I came out and literally like stepped on this woman's foot, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she turns around, it's Lori.
Oh wow.
I was like, hey, and we caught up for like 20 minutes.
That's so much
Blast from
fun.
the past,
That's
yes.
cool. What do you think about Maroon 5 performing halftime for the Super Bowl?
I think it's great. Who doesn't love Maroon 5?
I don't know who doesn't love Maroon 5.
I like Maroon 5.
I love Maroon 5.
I want to know, you've continued acting over the years, and I know fans were ecstatic when you popped up in AMC's Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That must have been a crazy cool experience.
It was a lot of fun. It was a totally different role for me too. I played this, you know, big sort of gun-toting pirate who comes on board and holds everybody hostage and like literally sticks guns in people's mouths. Totally like on the opposite Jesse McCartney spectrum.
You're like, finally, a role made for me.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I always wanted to do. I didn't
That's
even
what it was.
recognize that was you when I first saw it. I was like,
know.
wait a minute,
Nobody
where do I
did.
know this guy
I
from?
know, nobody did. It was definitely a transformation kind of thing. But I enjoyed every second. I mean, playing a zombie was incredible. I have on my phone, I have like a time-lapse video of them putting the prosthetic on me, which took like 4 hours. Like you get there
Wow.
at 5 a.m. and they put it on and then you shoot at 9. And it's funny, there's a picture of me, you can Google it, of me eating lunch during like
As a
lunchtime.
zombie?
And the mouth, like I get my face blown off as a zombie, and so my mouth is like over here, but during lunch hour, I'm eating lunch here. So like I have two mouths, you know, I'm chewing, eating a sandwich. It was just wild. The prosthetics on that show are obviously unbelievable. It's a really fun role.
Were you a fan of the show before you went on?
I was a big fan of Walking Dead. Fear had only been on a short time.
Yeah.
It was like really early on in the show. So I had to go back and watch the first season
Yeah.
just to catch up on where they were. But I had watched, you know, 5-6 seasons of the original Walking Dead.
Yeah. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Fear's so good. Okay.
The makeup artists for Fear the Walking Dead, some of the best in the entire industry, they also did this cake. They also
You're
designed
such an idiot. I can't with him. Any plans for more acting?
Not at the moment. Right now, my entire world is consumed with music, and I just dropped Wasted last Friday, and we're doing a tour in January, February. We're dropping a tour behind the song, so there's a lot of music going on this year and next. So
The Resolution Tour.
the Resolution Tour, yeah. So it's happening right after New Year's.
Okay. We're going to talk about that in a
yeah.
little bit, too.
Yeah, I want to know about Wasted. I have one question.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we'll get to a fan tweet.
I never
and then I'll ask
know
it
what's
later.
going to come out of his
No,
mouth.
it was going to be serious, but we'll
Yeah,
get to it
right.
later. It wasn't going to be serious. We have a tweet from one of your fans. Tammy asked, music or TV, which do you prefer?
And
I
look
feel
at
like
that picture of you right there.
Oh, there I am,
Yeah.
just more excited than I should be.
Super animated.
Yeah.
They should have put that picture on this cake. To me, I like both, Tammy. I get bored very easily, and it's the reason why I probably didn't put any music out for 4 years. I just wanted to do other things, try other things. But as soon as I finish this run with this record, I'll probably have the itch to get back on television in some capacity and do something. So I love it all. I grew up in the theater, so for me it was about acting and singing and just performing in general. So I don't really have a preference.
Maybe a musical is down
Maybe
your
a musical.
alley.
Maybe
Broadway.
A musical. Yep.
Wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yep. I would go back and do some more Broadway. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Ah.
Could do that.
I could. I can't hit that high note though. I tried.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. When they were recasting the show, they're like, "Can you hit this?" I was like, "No."
Not even gonna try.
I'm a tenor.
Congratulations are in order. We saw that you and your girlfriend Katie Peterson just celebrated 6 years
Yeah.
together.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful girl.
Yeah.
What's the secret to a long relationship in Hollywood?
I think just, honesty and supporting each other and, being there for each other and listening and, having time for yourselves through all the noise. We do a lot of stuff together. I mean, both industry related, but then also just privately. We travel together, we do fun stuff. So we make sure that there's enough time of reality and then the other stuff that is just stuff, I mean, it's cool and it's great and it's so awesome, and we're super grateful to be able to have the opportunities we have and to do stuff attend the Billboard Award and walk red carpets. But it's not, I think to achieve longevity in general, you just have to make sure that you have balance.
I'm taking that to heart.
Yeah.
I'm looking for love.
Oh my
There
gosh.
you go.
Roxy?
No, not
Okay.
interested if
That's
that's what
fine.
you're saying.
No, that's not what I was getting at.
All right, looking ahead, like you mentioned, we are so excited to have you here because you have another song that you're
Yeah.
promoting. Wait, do you want to
Wasted.
ask your wasted question now?
Yeah.
Go for it.
How do you get your ex to reach out to you if she's sober?
How do you
Because
get
your whole song's about your ex is reaching out to you because she's drunk.
How do you get
or...
your ex to reach out to you if she's sober?
Yeah, I feel like. Never mind.
I don't know how to answer that question without sounding really creepy.
Don't answer it. Don't answer
Don't
it.
even worry about
Let's
it.
go ahead and
Let's take a listen to Wasted right now. My gosh, what do you
You
think
need
about
your ex.
You like to call me when you're high. End of the party, I'm your guy. Thing is, I do this every night. And I don't wanna come up and play shit, but you only call when you're wasted. You only call when you're wasted. You only call when you're wasted.
Note to self: no more ice cream cake or champagne for Hunter anymore.
Going straight to my heart.
Oh my goodness! All right, when can we hear more of this? Well, you're headed out to
I'm
the
headed out
Resolution
for
Tour.
the Resolution Tour January 11th. I think it kicks off in Dallas, and then it goes through February. So you can get tickets. I think they just went on sale either today or yesterday. I should know that information before doing interviews. But you can find them online.
Okay, and we have another tweet from a fan right now. Let's take a look at what it says. Parina asks, any news about the upcoming EP? Any hints as what to expect from the Resolution Tour? Do you have hints that you could drop?
So sure. I mean, I'm going to perform new music. There's going to be a couple of songs people haven't heard yet, probably. As far as an actual release date for anything EP related or full-length album related, I don't have an answer for you. To be honest, I haven't written enough music to complete a full album.
Okay.
For me, I have a new style of doing things where I kind of focus on 1 or 2 songs at a time and try to put all of my time and energy and eggs into those baskets before, putting out a bunch of music. I feel like that's a new thing now anyway in the music industry. But I do have some new songs. There might be a few new covers in the live show, and we're working on the production of it now. But it'll be a lot of fun. I can promise you that.
Okay. Well, right now it's time for My First Time. It's just a little game that we like to play.
Cool.
Rapid fire answers, questions, and answers.
Let's go.
So tell us about your first kiss, Jesse.
My first kiss. Ooh, clunky, awkward, bad.
Your first celebrity friend.
My first celebrity friend. My first celebrity friend, probably Gavin DeGraw.
Oh,
Good one.
Yeah.
really
good one.
cool.
Yeah.
Love him. Back to your first kiss. You said clunky and awkward.
Oh, you want to know more about
I
that?
just was curious. What happened? Wait, how old were you?
I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade, and it was like one of those like setup things where my boys were like, "You're gonna meet her here," and her girls were like, "You're gonna meet him here. It'll be after gym. Everyone's gonna watch, so don't worry." And then everyone watched, and we were like, and it was just like I was sweaty and gross. And it was like after gym, which was a terrible idea. I don't know who picked the time. And then we kissed, and like I fumbled. We looked like idiots, and everyone laughed, and that was the end of it. And then I never saw her again. So.
There you go. All right. Well, your first crazy headline that you remember about yourself.
I think it had something to do with like Paris Hilton. I remember like I just moved to Los Angeles, and I was walking out of a restaurant sort of simultaneously. And like, you know, at the time Paris was like, you know, there was 100 paparazzi anywhere she was. And I mean, it's probably my own fault. I was at like one of the most Hollywood Japanese restaurants at the time called Koi.
Oh my gosh.
We were walking out sort of at the same time, and then, you know, there's like a picture of her, and then there's just me in the background. Like this, like, and just funny, awkward headline. Yeah.
First time you felt like you'd really made it.
First time I felt like I really made it. I wrote a song that called "Bleeding Love" for Leona Lewis. It was nominated for a Grammy, and I think that for me was sort of like a solidifying moment in terms of my place as a writer in the music industry. And I think that was, like, for me, a personal goal of mine, obviously, and an achievement of mine that I'll never forget, and was definitely like a notch on the belt for me.
Amazing, and one of my favorite singers.
Oh,
also.
cool.
That's so cool. Your first guilty pleasure.
My first guilty
Yeah,
pleasure?
your first favorite guilty pleasure. Oh gosh.
And be really open and
Well,
honest.
we're gonna keep this PG, but my first.
Let's just say it inspired.
You're turning red.
the song.
My first guilty pleasure. I was actually a big fan of the Hanson brothers musically. Like I thought that they were super talented, and I was like, you know, wanted to be a pop singer myself. And all of my friends were listening to like 9 Inch Nails and Metallica.
Right.
And I was listening to Babyface and Hanson and like Seal, Kiss
There
by
you
a Rose,
go.
and like, you know, pop R&B music.
Hanson is going to be performing at the Greek pretty soon.
Yeah.
So serious.
Yeah, I know.
This guy just learned who Jodeci was today.
Do you know who Hanson is?
Of course I know who Hanson
okay.
is.
Let's just keep
It was
going.
Hanson and Jodeci were in a band.
Okay.
What's something you wish you could do for the first time again?
What's something I wish I could do for the first time again? Geez, these are tough for rapid fire. It's usually like blue or green.
Hurry up!
Champagne or cake. The first thing I wish I could do again, I don't know, but probably my first world tour.
That's cool.
You wish you could do the whole thing again, or?
Like half of it.
Yeah.
All right, well, since you're heading out on the resolution tour in January, we want to play a little game with you called it's New Year's theme. This is going to be 2 resolutions and 1 lie. You're going to come up with 2 resolutions and one that you have for the future and 1 fake one, and we're going to guess which one is the lie. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Okay, our version of 2 truths and a lie. So give it to us. Let's see if we can guess.
Okay, so one of my 2. So you want me to like disguise one of them
Yeah.
true?
Yeah,
You
You want to pick out which one is.
We got it. We got it.
But 2 of them have to be true.
2 truths and a lie. Yeah. So we're gonna find the lie. Which one is the lie?
Okay, so one is I am signed up to be one of the first people on a SpaceX mission.
Okay.
Okay, that's a resolution of yours?
Well, you said to make a truth.
Oh
or
my
a
gosh,
lie.
you're confusing the guy.
You know
Let
what?
it
Here are my
go.
2 resolutions.
Let it go.
Eat less cake. Eat less junk food in general. How's that for a resolution?
Okay.
Great. Really
Cool,
good.
Really
True.
good. Practice piano a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. And
Now the lie.
and now the lie. A resolution would to. This is a really.
We were
I
supposed
should
to
have read
guess
the rules to this
the
game.
lie. Don't even worry
I
about
don't know
it.
who botched this up,
Because
but I'm gonna start drinking
he did.
champagne.
I
He
botched it
totally
up for
botched
you.
the whole thing.
No,
Matter
I
of fact,
didn't.
Yes, you did. I can't. All right, just
Oh,
before you
boy.
leave, we got to check back in on our hashtag challenge today. I cannot with Hunter. The greatest thing about the 90s has been trending today, so we asked you guys at home, what's your favorite thing about the decade?
At Alan Hobson 2 tweeted, not to be confused with at Alan Hobson 1, classic shows like this, and he included pictures of Nick News with Linda Ellerby, Seinfeld, The Arsenio Hall Show, and Living Single. At Corey M. Jackson replied with this gif
Oh my
of
gosh.
the 90s boy band NSYNC, and Shireen tweeted the good R&B music, Jodeci, one of my favorites.
Jodeci.
Well, I prefer Jodeci. Drew Hill, just to
Terrible.
name a few. I was more of a Jodeci fan.
It was not.
Well, not your favorite, mine
Oh
was.
gosh, Jesse, what would you say was the greatest thing about the 90s?
I liked Pogs.
Pogs.
I was big into Pogs.
I was not into Pogs.
You know what? Me and you have more in common.
Priorities
than-
are a lot different at 8. You know, Pogs was
Yeah.
everything to
Did
me.
you play Pokemon Red or Blue?
I wasn't a Pokemon guy.
Me neither, then.
I was more of like I was a Game Boy guy. I loved you know what else was big for me in the 90s was Home Alone.
Home Alone
that
was
was
so
like
good.
my favorite childhood movie.
Indiana Joneses were mine. I loved all of them.
You're like, Mom, why can't you just abandon me?
Original Jurassic Park.
The original one.
Wow.
Good one. Yeah, that's right. Oh, we're out of time, guys. All right, Jesse, thank you so much for
Thank you
stopping by.
guys
I
so
really
much.
appreciate you.
I'm gonna work on my resolution game, by the way.
Don't. It's not you. It's him.
I'm going to work on
I'm
myself.
going to question whether we have you back tomorrow or not, but we will be back tomorrow live with more stories and more of your reactions, guys. Plus, we will have actress Peyton List. She's going to be in the studio, so be sure you send in your questions for her using the hashtag chatter. Everybody have a sweet night.